All right, welcome guys to Kings on the Daily, powered by Live World Sports Media, unfiltered, first and 10. And Miami Hurricanes got their man, Darian Mensah, has committed. Finally, after all the back and forth with the court situation, he is finally a Miami Hurricane. Oh, and also, he's not coming alone, guys. He is coming with his number one wide receiver, Cooper Barkate. Yes. Let's listen to my man Alex Donno on Locked On Canes. He broke it down. And definitely got to reach out to Alex again. You know, chop it up with him. It's been a while since we did something. Uh, so let's dive into what Alex got to say about Mr. Mensah. And trust me, Miami is not playing, and they trying to repeat back into the national championship spotlight. They got a taste of it, and can Darian Mensah take them? Can they put them over the threshold? Can they get the Canes to that championship? They were so close this year, so close, but can they do it this time around?
The Miami Hurricanes have their starting quarterback, and he's bringing a friend from the 919 to the 305. Darian Mensah, Cooper Barkate, welcome to TheU. Who helps lead Miami to the national championship game. And now you get Darian Mensah, fresh off a season where he was the nation's second leading passer. Mario Cristobal has done it again. Yesterday was just a tornado of action. Tuesday morning was when we officially got the word. Statements were released by Mensah's legal team, headed up by Darren Heitner, sports attorney, also Mensah's agency, and then the Duke legal team. They both put out statements confirming that the two sides had settled out of court and that Mensah would be free to transfer to the school of his choice, which we all knew by that time the school of his choice was going to be the University of Miami. So then after the settlement was released, by the afternoon time, Mensah and Barkate were both on campus in Coral Gables making their official visit to Miami. And they got, folks, if you're not aware of the amazing campus tour, golf carting around campus that Miami staffer and former Miami cornerback Mike Rumpf gives, his tours are legendary. So they got the full tour from Coach Rumpf, Barkate and Mensah, and then they got wined and dined in the evening. I would love to walk in the shoes of one of these recruits or transfer guys when they get taken to Prime 112. Mario Cristobal, Shannon Dawson, Malachi Toney was along for that as well. Edgerrin James was there. They went out to Prime 112 in the evening, out for a nice dinner, and then shortly after that dinner came to a close, you get the official announcements. Darian Mensah has signed with the University of Miami. Cooper Barkate, his top receiver from Duke, has signed with the University of Miami. So as far as Darian Mensah goes, folks, again, for those who didn't watch him this past season at Duke or, prior year at Tulane, the talent is through the roof, and this is potential to perhaps be not only a first-round draft pick in a year's time. Now, he actually has 2 years of eligibility left. It's just a question of, does he want to stay in college for 2 more years? Because he has potential to be a first-round pick as soon as next year. And a lot of folks now realizing who Mensah is going to be playing with at Miami. He's going to have a better defense than the one that didn't help him out too much at Duke last year. He's going to have, even though Miami lost some pieces, he's going to have a better offensive line at Miami. Certainly going to have a better running back room because Miami's at least 5 deep at that position, which is crazy. A superior wide receiver room, including his number one guy, plus Malachi Toney and some other talents that we will talk about. So Darian Mensah, based on what he did last season without all of that extra help, just under 4,000 yards, 34 touchdown passes to only 6 interceptions, second leading passer nationally. If you project what he could do at Miami with all the extra talent and presumably extra wins, because winning does help your case, we're talking about someone who's going to be, I think, one of the top 2 or 3 favorites, if not the favorite for the Heisman Trophy this coming year. Like, that's the potential that Darian Mensah has at Miami.
And that is the thing, because we were expecting that to be Carson Beck this year too, as well. And Miami slippage in some of these games kind of hurt Carson Beck's chances to be in that Heisman running. And we was looking forward to, and we see Cam Ward was there the year before in that Heisman running. If Darian Mensah could duplicate that, what he did at Duke without the talent, the plethora of talent, and what he's going to be able to do with Miami, I do see him staying another year, and especially if he wants to run it back. Say Miami goes on to win the national championship next year, and he decides to say, well, I got 2 more years of eligibility. I want to use 1 more. Put his stock even higher. He could be that guy. He could be that guy to be the number 1 pick in the 2028. It'll be 2028 draft. So that is something for him to consider, because Miami is going to restart on every position. Yeah, they're going to lose pieces on defense and offensive line, but knowing Mario Cristobal, what his bread and butter is the trenches. You already see they have players coming in, transferring in, offensive line help, defensive line help, and everything like that. With his number 1 receiver, Cooper, and Malachi Tony, the freshman breakout last year, and other pieces, I think this, and like Alex Donno just said, we are 5 deep at running back. All the running backs are staying. So guess what? That tells you right then, Miami is poised for another. And then Miami's schedule is so favorable. They don't even face Notre Dame until November of next year. So their schedule is so favored for them to run a gauntlet and be in the playoff spotlight, and hopefully winning their first ACC title. So to me, I think this all adds up. Mario Cristobal for the last 3 years at quarterback, he has not missed at all. He has not missed. And if you could keep Mensah for 1 more year after this upcoming season, guess what that's going to do? That's going to solidify you where you don't have to really go out and look for another quarterback, because there might not be none. But if you could keep him for 1 more year on that 2-year eligibility, then that will be a great deal for Miami Hurricanes.
This player, Mensah, completed 67% of his passes last season for 3,973 yards. I mentioned 34 touchdowns to just 6 interceptions. Second leading passer in the country. And if you look at the actual traits, I think what's extra exciting about Mensah, we talked about this earlier this week, he takes some of the best traits from Carson Beck in terms of a quick release, but also combines some of the best traits from Cam Ward in his ability to move and extend plays, okay? He throws the ball well on the run, which is a nice plus, and he always keeps his eyes downfield.
Yeah.
Loves to attack downfield, produced a lot of offense on deep throws last year, 1,085 of his just under 4,000 yards, 13 of his touchdowns, and just 2 of his interceptions happened on throws of over 20 yards through the air. So he loves to attack. For Mensah, he had a lot of really good games last year. Excuse my voice for cracking there. I haven't slept a lot this week. I would say that the best game Mensah played this past season at Duke was in that 46-45 shootout win on the road against Clemson. In that game, he completed 66% of his passes for 361 yards, 4 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. He also lit it up in his final game for Duke. That was against Arizona State in the Sun Bowl. 327 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception in that game. And Mensah, I can't emphasize this enough, he really seems like a perfect fit in Shannon Dawson's offense, and is going to allow Dawson to fully open up and unleash the playbook. Because not only does Mensah like to attack downfield, where he led the nation with 86 deep ball attempts last year. Nobody went deep more than Mensah, but he also excels in the quick game. over 77% of his passes were complete when getting rid of the football in under 2.5 seconds. Okay, so that's also somewhat getting the football to his playmakers in space is another thing that Darian Mensah excels in. Now
that is really, really important. Really, really important right there. Because the fact of the matter is that he could get that ball out of his hand under 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. That's going to show you a quarterback with a very, very quick release. Skill set on the outside, tight ends, running backs in the flat, all going to be important. Miami has a chance to go into next season probably as a juggernaut offense. High power scoring offense. So, like I said, Mario Cristobal hasn't missed in 3 years with quarterbacks, and I don't see him missing Mensah. I think Mensah is going to have his name in that Heisman candidate, and if he wins it, I won't be surprised he goes to the NFL after the season, even if they don't get to the national championship. But I got my bet on Miami getting back to the national championship spotlight and sealing the deal and completing the task this time around. Like, comment, subscribe. This is Kings on the Daily. Shout out to Alex Donno for that clip. Powered by Livewire Sports Media, unfiltered, 1st and 10. You hear it here first.